Hare Krishna, Bhagwat Gita as it is, Chapter 3 Karm Yoga, and today we are going to take the shlok number 20. But before we take shlok number 20, let us quickly do a revision of the previous verses. In the previous verses, we have seen that Krishna has explained to Arjun about the Sakam Karm Yoga, where Yagya Chakra is absolutely compulsory. And without performing the Yagya Chakra, if anyone wants to enjoy the material world, then that person is certainly committing a great sin and hence making his rare human life a waste. So Yagya Chakra is a must for those who are too much inclined to enjoy the worldly things. Then Krishna explained to Arjun about nishkaam karma yoga, because Arjun was not at all interested in any worldly things, but was too much attached with his family members. So to help Arjun to come out of his family attachments, Krishna tells Arjun to do all his actions as a matter of duty and to only please Krishna. Now, in the verse number 20, which we are going to study today, Krishna is giving an example to Arjun of such a person who is completely satisfied within himself and doesn't have any desire for anything in this material world. Such people are known as self-realized. And being self-realized, they don't want anything from this temporary material world. Yet they do their duty as a duty to set an example in front of the common people so that the common people might learn from them and follow and lead an ideal life. Now first, let's recite the verse number 20. Karmanyev hi sansiddhim asthita janakadayah lok sangrah mevapi sampashyan kartum arhasi karmanyev hi sansiddhim asthita janakadayah lok sangrah mevapi sampashyan kartum arhasi. Word meanings: karman, by work; ev, even; he, certainly; sansiddhim, perfection; asthitah, situated; janak adayah, kings like Janak and others; lok sangram, educating the people in general; eva, also; api, for the sake of; sampashyan, by considering; kartum, to act; arhasi, deserve. Translation: Krishna tells Arjun that even kings like Janak and others attained the perfectional stage by performance of prescribed duties. Therefore, just for the sake of educating the people in general, you should perform your work. Now let us try to understand the shlok with the help of Srila Prabhupada's purport. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srila Prabhupada explains in his purport that king like Janak and others were all self-realized souls. Self-realized means they were completely absorbed and satisfied within their soul and didn't want anything from this temporary material world for their own sense gratification. And being self-realized, they did not have any obligatory duties as prescribed in the Vedic scriptures. But still, they performed all the prescribed duties just to set an example for people in general. In this verse, Krishna is giving us the example of King Janak, who was the father of Mother Sita and was the father-in-law of Lord Ram. So we can well understand the status of King Janak as a devotee. He was such an exalted devotee that the goddess of wealth, Lakshmi ji, was his daughter, and his son-in-law was Vishnu, Lord Ram. Being a self-realized person, King Janak was not obliged to do any prescribed duty, but just because he was the king of Mithila, he had to teach his subjects to fight righteously in the battle. Therefore, he and his subjects fought to teach people in general that violence is also necessary in a situation where good arguments fail. And the greatest example of such a similar situation was when every good argument failed to convince Duryodhan before the war of Mahabharata. Shri Krishna himself went to Hastinapur as a peace messenger, but Duryodhan was too adamant not to listen to anything and was just hell-bent to fight. So in such a situation, violence becomes absolute necessary, and the war of Mahabharata took place. Now Lord Krishna and his dearmost friend Arjun did not have any need to fight the war of Mahabharata, and Lord Krishna could have finished all the Kauravas in just one moment with his Sudarshan Chakra. But to teach the society in general the importance of doing one's own duty, Krishna wanted Arjun to fight. A similar example we have seen in Treta Yuga as well, when Mother Sita was kidnapped by Ravana. Lord Rama sent Angad to make Ravana understand and return Mother Sita to Lord Ram. But Ravana would not listen to any good advice. Ravana was made to understand by Vibhishan, Kumbhakarna and his wife Mandodari. But Ravana would not listen to anyone. Then Lord Rama went to make a bridge on the sea. But the sea god wouldn't allow Lord Rama to make a bridge. Then finally, Lord Rama asked Lakshman to give his sarang bow. On seeing the anger of Lord Ram, sea god immediately gave way to build the bridge. So we see that when good advice fails, then violence becomes necessary. Ravana was pleaded by Vibhishan, Kumbhakarna and his wife Mandodari to return Mother Sita to Lord Ram. But Ravana did not listen to any of the good advice. So finally Lord Rama fought with Ravan and killed him. So we see that when fighting becomes absolutely a necessity, then it should be fought to establish a righteous kingdom. Srila Prabhupada explains that a Krishna conscious person may not have any interest in any material things, but still he does all his duties to set an example in front of the common people. So to teach the common people how to live and how to act. Giving the example of King Janak to Arjun, Krishna told Arjun that Arjun, you may be self-realized and may not want anything, but still you have to fight with your enemies, as this is your prescribed duty being a Kshatriya. So it's very clear that each one of us have to do our prescribed duties according to our Varnashram Dharma. And Srila Prabhupada is also a fine example of self-realized person who didn't have any obligatory duties but worked day and night to give the entire world the knowledge of Bhagwat Gita, Bhagavatam and Chaitanya Charitamrita. And besides this, made 108 gorgeous ISKCON temples all over the world in just 10 years, and that too at the age of 70. And we, Srila Prabhupada's disciples, have a high responsibility to continue the legacy started by Srila Prabhupada of spreading Krishna consciousness. And Srila Prabhupada always laid great emphasis on becoming a good example in front of others to be able to convince others to become Krishna devotee and follow the devotional path of Krishna consciousness. So this verse tells us how King Janak performed all his duties to teach the common people, and he did everything as a matter of duty. Now in the next verse, Krishna is going to explain to Arjun by giving his own example how he works in spite of being the Supreme Lord. Now let's answer the following questions so that we can be confident that we have understood the shlok properly. The question number 1 is, in case Arjun thinks himself to be worthy of being in the path of knowledge, still, why should he perform nishkaam karm? Question number 2, why was the prescribed duties not compulsory for King Janak? Question number 3, when does violence become necessary? And the last one is, a Krishna conscious person is completely detached from all kinds of material things. Then why does he work? I thank everyone for listening to Bhagavad Gita shloks very attentively, and I thank Srila Prabhupada for making us understand the most secretive knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Anant Koti Vaishnavo ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.